Hi, in today's working session, I want to work on one of the patient apps that we have currently in production, and it's a direct dental care app. It's an app that patients can log in and check their membership. So when I do that as a test patient, I get my dashboard, and here, if I go to my profile, what I wanted to work on is this view. There's loads of data. Looks chaotic for me. We've just done it as a quick thing. So yeah, I think this could use some sectioning at least. And yeah, so let's do that. Let's jump into Views Tools. That's our access to, but I need to also add the project. So to add a project to, I have only two projects here. I never worked on that project in this version of tools. So I'm gonna go to open existing project, and then I'm gonna navigate to my apps, and then to the app I wanna add. In stories, I'm looking for the app.view file. That's the app, open existing app. That's the file that will open the project for us. So now we have this. Let's recompiled. Nice, good stuff. And now what we can do? We can now browse the let's see, plan name, plan details. Profile, I guess, content. So now when we're browsing the app inside of tools, the current state of these stories is showing in the app itself. So we have two stories here. One story is to show the data, and the other one is to change the data. So if I go here, this is the editable format of that view. But let's work on the blocks of the show view, and here I guess some simple things could be done. So status is in the middle of like date of birth and all that kind of stuff. So I think I would move the member ID and status to the very top, and we can do that because all of these data points are stories, and they are used here as member ID, first name, date of birth, and then status. Now this app also has a mobile media query, so we're gonna have to deal with that as well. So I'm gonna take that out and put it maybe before into that horizontal, before the member ID. So we're gonna go here and let's see how it looks like. Okay, so status probably has some sort of margin on its own. Yeah, margin top 16, we don't want that. So let's do this, and then now they are aligned. Okay, now status also was pushing 33%. So status was pushing 33% on the width, and member ID is doing what? Also 33%. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's okay. I think they could be probably closer. We'll deal with that in a second. So that's the one thing that we could do. Then another thing that we could do is to introduce some of the sectioning. So say this is the profile details. So this would be the account details. This would be like personal. So account, personal, and then personal could be the first name, last name, date of birth, status, security number. Then we could go another section, contact details, contact, and then address. Yeah, okay, so let's try that. Let's see how it all shakes out. So here we're gonna add this subtitle here, and we're gonna say, what are we going to say? Account. Okay, and now we probably don't need this margin. Let's see how it looks without the margin. Yep, that's okay. And now margin bottom here, we have the margin bottom to move these guys. I think I'm gonna stick to margin tops. I don't know why I was doing it that way before, but I think if we're gonna go 16 on all of them, let's see, they probably have 16 as well here. So between the other ones, location probably has, let's see what location has. Okay, it has margin 20, all right. So yeah, so these margins are a little bit chaotic here, and it actually does look a little bit bigger. We have 20. All right, let's keep 20 then, just for the sake of it for now. We can then deal with them later on. So, okay, so this is 20. Now what we need to do is go subtitle again, and this, we're gonna give this one, what did we say? Personal. Okay, so we're gonna go personal. Now we probably need to go margin top, say, I would say 32, I guess we were giving it. Margin to go, well, between the sections it was 50, I think, between the sections. Yeah, not 32, 50. Yes, 50, okay. So we have account details, personal details. Now we're gonna give it margin top has this. Let's give it 20. Let's give it 20. So now this one will push 20 pixels. That's cool. Okay, and we have status, and we have, maybe we should actually drop the date of birth to the other, so we should drop the date of birth from this horizontal, and I would probably put it here, and let's see how it looks like. So then if these guys are 3, they would, oh yeah, okay, so date of birth, date of birth doesn't have any of the, and I think it needs to have margin top, at least I would say probably 16 was the one on the social security. Yeah, it's 16, okay, so date of birth, let's put 16 here, then we can remove it from here, since it's the same on the both scopes. Yeah, alright, that's okay. Now these guys, I think that these guys could be just 66 then, and then they would probably fit nicely. So first name, last name, if we give it 66, they will sit next to each other, and that's probably better. Okay, so now, so this is the personal, and now we're gonna go, and what else we're gonna do? We can, we said we're gonna leave these guys alone, and then put contact here. Okay, so that would be that. Let's see now. Yeah, that looks okay. Now there's some different margin here, so maybe email. Let's just look at the email for a second. They have margin 16. This looks bigger to me. And what is on the first name? Let's see the first name. Yeah, this one doesn't have it, so maybe that's the reason. If we would remove that from here, what are we going to get? Okay. So that's the one. So now on the email, so here we have margin top 20. Yeah, so let's keep them on the horizontals rather than inside. Will be easier to manage them. Yeah, that's 20, that's 20. So now we need to remove that from mobile number. Where's the phone number? Here. Okay, nice. Remove that margin. Now we have them aligned. Okay, now we have street, city, state, and zip code, and we have them all. Now street could be a long one, so that's why I left the street to be here. But what we could do is to wrap it a bit nice in a bit nicer way. We could probably move the city up to the other horizontal, put it after the street. If we would go city, how much does city have? 33, good. And street has auto. We would probably want to give it street. We would probably want to give, so we probably want to do this with the street. So we want to do white space wrap. That's cool. We're gonna remove this, put that one here. Let's see. Okay, so now these guys push. So now I guess what we could do is to just turn them around. Now this is probably not the best idea, because if we would put the street back, because it's a longer field, but the way you would put the address, you would start with the street. So in the edit, start with the street, but here you see here it's a bit different. It's a bit different either way. So I'm just thinking regarding the layout here, to align them nicely here. What we could do, we could actually flip them. So let's try this. Let's flip this one. Let's put that story after the phone number, and then let's put city. And then we just gonna have to, I think we're just gonna have to test it, how does it make sense with people, because then what happens is that so here, yeah, so 33, okay, street has what? Oh, 33, no, street needs to have 66. Okay, so it takes 2/3 of the, now it's nicely aligned. And now the state also is 33, and then the zip code, we're gonna do 66 on that one, just to push it and to align it here. All right, so now the only one thing that's left to do, I guess, is to add the grep selected location. That's another one. We need to change that to primary care location. Primary care location was one of the requirements from our session last night with the PO of the product, and at the time we couldn't log in, but now since we have it here, let's just do it. And then we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do address. Okay, so now let's see how it looks like. How does it look like? Okay, so that's good. So now I think we have the margin tops here, which again I will remove it from here, and I will add them to the horizontal itself, so it's just easier to control because I'm controlling both at once. Oh, wait a minute, I added them to the wrong one, I guess. It's this one. Okay, so now that's what we have. So now we have this nice primary care location, name, street, city. These guys are 50-50. Street, city, see again. And there's some issue with the margins here. So we need to look into that, because what do we have? Location. So location has its own stories. Let's look into location. This is city, so street and city. I guess they probably have city and street, they have margin top on their own. Yes, so we're gonna, oh, I think I know why they had margin top, because on mobile then. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think we need to move the margins actually. So this is what's gonna happen. On mobile, it's just gonna be broken. Because I removed the margins. So now they, from independently from each of them. So now you see they don't have margins. That's right. Okay, well, we're gonna fix the mobile. We're gonna fix mobile later on. Let's not worry about the mobile right now. This looks good though. This looks okay. This is fine. Yeah, this is fine. So I think this is better as the readability. You have account, so you have profile details, you have account details, personal, contact, address, and then you have my primary care location, my primary care dentist. Yeah, maybe it should say. Actually, let me change that. So maybe it should actually say my primary care location. Although when we're gonna go into, well, my primary care location, it is all mine. It's my profile details. So yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Let's leave it as that at that. And yeah, so I guess that's way more readable than it was on the beginning. That's just a quick session about how I deal with the layout. Having access to production, it's great. This is exactly what I can do. Just come in, do the layout. No need to like push designs over the handoff. I can just deal with all those just by simply changing the stories and changing the values. Now we need to deal with the mobile media query, which means that that's a bit more work, because here we also need to add. So for example, these guys are not, they are remaining in the, I'm just gonna maybe show you one. Just gonna do one. So here we've put this status and member ID into a horizontal, but it doesn't have the media mobile media query state, right? So now what I'm doing essentially is I'm changing the horizontal into a vertical, because it says, okay, flex direction from row, so from aligning them horizontally to vertically. And now this is where we need the margin on the actual story. The one thing though I'm thinking about is that it will be probably easier to manage them here, so I wouldn't have to jump between the stories. So what I can do is to go and say, oh yeah, but then I need to do that, because what I could do, I could move the setup of it. It's good and it's bad. It's gonna make the other, let's add it here. So on the desktop we wanted 0 because we had a margin on the horizontal, but on the mobile margin top we wanted 16 maybe. Let's see how it looks like. 16. Yeah, that's probably okay. Well, if we're doing 20s there, maybe we should do 20 here as well. Probably. So then what we can do is status has it okay because it takes it from the wrapper, and then these guys don't have it. So the first name also should take it from here. And on this we don't need, that's okay. So this one needs this margin 20 from the wrapper. That's cool. And now all these guys have their margins, but we should probably go and do so there will be first name, last name has margin 20 on mobile. Okay, date of birth, yeah, should have the margin 20 as well on mobile. So we're gonna go, oh, it doesn't need it because it has it on the, doesn't have a wrapper. That's good. So then the status, yep, that one can have also 20 just on its own, and then this one can have it as well. So now when we're gonna go to, let's go to responsive. So now when we go to the mobile, they are like this, and in the desktop they are like this. So that's how we can control the changes between the layouts between the mobile and the desktop. And now we just need to fix the other ones. So here, for example, oh, the status there's something wrong with the status. So what's going on with the status? Okay, we can change that. All right, sounds good. And that one 20. Okay, so now this one has 20. That's cool. What else do we need to do here? So we have the phone number. The phone number needs to take the probably we are zeroing out here. We don't need to zero that one out. So phone number can get 20 on mobile and on desktop, and then email needs to get margin 20, margin top 20. Okay, so that one will get that. Oh, but it needs to get the margin top 20 only on mobile. Okay, so for that to work, we're gonna copy this one into the mobile scope. This is all these properties will apply to the mobile scope only. This is the base scope, this is the mobile scope after one, and on the the other way around. On desktop we don't need the margin, and on the mobile we need the margin. So where are we here? Okay, cool. So now when we, yeah, they are aligned, and these guys have everything they need. And then we need to do all this, all the same stuff with these guys. So I won't be repeating it now, but I think this looks way better when you come into this profile. You at least, this is readable, and probably, I don't know if we want to do something about this one as well. Maybe, although this one is probably, yeah, this one is probably okay. That was a little bit messed up. So there you go. Have a good one.